Haha! This brings me great joy.
Why don't you explain it?
Hey there, welcome back to Dog Drops, here on episode of Danganronpa. Last time we left off, we were in the middle of the case. Each time I thought it was over, it only extended by more. At first we were blaming Hiro, then we started blaming Toko, and now we're blaming Hina. Dang it! This case really isn't over yet, unfortunately. I honestly don't know who killed Sakura. I think it's Hina who killed Sakura. Though... I don't know anymore. Just watch, it's probably me that killed Sakura at this point.
Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
Because maybe it was actually Hina. I'm actually done with this case already.
You say that, but I'm still
Ah, yes. Of course.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Until you shut up!
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism.
Cool. Long words. My brain don't work too good.
But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Dang it!
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Of course we are.
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well,
I used the string!
that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
Yes!
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
I don't know. I don't know
And
at this
if
point.
I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
You know what, when it comes to with the two of you, I'm more inclined to believe Kyoko. Because Kyoko's not a pain in the ass.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
Ah!
What doesn't fit?
My knee's itchy.
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious. Too easy.
He's right.
Of
Makes
course
it
it
look
is.
like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
You didn't notice the yellow floor. Wait, can I say that on YouTube?
Yeah,
Probably just blur it
that's
out.
just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail?
Yes.
Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please. I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Oh, okay, I finished. This voice
Waste
acting
your
error.
time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit.
Honestly, now I'm hoping it isn't Hina who's not the culprit, because I would love to see this bastard wrong.
There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to section C and got the poison.
Okay.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
Okay.
So then I moved to section A and got the protein powder. And that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that
Okay.
had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did...
Is that it?
That story you just told. First you went to section C to get the poison. Then moved to section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from section C to section A. Do I have that correct?
I don't understand what they're referring to here. But if that's true... Isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Wait, my name's not Big Mac? Kinda small to be called Big.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
Until you shut up! How long? Until we figure it out. Try to uncover the full truth of this case. God dang it! Okay, well, this is clearly gonna be the footprints in the thing. Yep, first one.
First, I went to section section C.
Okay.
That's when I grabbed the poison.
Okay.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah.
Correct.
When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
She's got a big nose.
I moved from section C to section A.
Ah, you're wrong! You fool! I'm the massive cranium chicken
You
fella.
said you went to get the poison from section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Correct!
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A.
They were
That
moving too.
contradicts what you just said.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Ah!
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
Yeah.
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
She's so nervous, I didn't know I left a footprint! Ah! Ah!
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Why are you so angry?
Well, you lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious.
Yes.
The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved.
I'm gonna plug my headphones there.
Well, you see...
Alright, sorry about the pause right there. My recorder was messed up there.
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
Ha ha ha! This brings me great joy. This face.
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Ha ha! That's where you're
Are
wrong.
you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
Yes.
Did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people,
Ha, ha,
missed
ha!
the vital clue.
This brings me
A
great
truly
joy to
great
see him
oversight.
like this. Ha 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 ha.
Just say it already. What is it you think you found?
No. Say it for me first. No, how but Makoto says it.
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder.
That means Byakuya nearly killed himself.
I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But what is it?
He nearly killed himself.
Oh, you still don't realize?
Ah.
Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Of course.
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
Well, Smarty Pants. I think I remember now. I broke something. I broke the Monokuma bottle. Ah, ha, ha! I've got another heart.
Part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
To the wall. To the window. To the wall.
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
Ha ha ha! You mongrels. You thought you could beat me in a game of
that leads to
questions
another
there?
question.
And who killed who?
How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What do you mean what's so strange about that?
Strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
There's a bottle of poison there. When I broke in the electric room, what Hina did is...
I got it!
Yeah!
The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
Wow!
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised though.
And then, once the room was opened, The bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab.
Alright.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
No, we're not. Keep up.
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked?
I need to see it again. But I think I know it.
With the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Okay. Huh?
It has to do with the protein can.
Okay.
After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind
Okay,
of
so I
loaded
think
question?
what they're talking about is the fact it's on top of the glass. I do remember it slightly.
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Not me. Same here.
Yeah, me
Okay then, that settles it.
Aha!
That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that?
Ah, it just brings me great joy to see this fellow with that face.
How can you know what I don't know?
Oh, well, that's because Byakuya, you're an asshole, and you're kind of stupid actually. Throughout this entire game, I've learned more and more that you're not as smart as you look, or like you make yourself that you make yourself out to be. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. Proves that someone brought it working after it's open. Ah, dang it! Make your argument. Empty protein drink.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my
No,
mind.
jeepers. They switched it.
Until the locked room was unlocked,
Okay.
it absolutely was not in there.
Alright.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time.
Humph.
It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Locked room murder. Minutes broke the window. Can't say on that.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in
Okay, I don't think it's that one at all.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before.
Yeah! Okay, it's a good thing I didn't use that, that one. Could have lost another heart there.
Remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Yeah.
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found.
Yeah,
pieces
so yeah,
underneath.
I did remember correctly. It did look like it's under.
What?
Ha! Oh! Byakuya. This is an amazing face you have.
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
This face brings me immense joy.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
Ha!
That's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can.
Aha!
But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
Well, this face doesn't really bring me joy because
that's all true, then
yeah,
why did
but this
Sakura
face
drink
does.
the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein.
Wait, no way. Something just clicked in my head. The last line Byakuya just said. Why would Sakura drink the poison? There's no way that happened. Okay, let's continue this. There's no way that happened.
That's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original.
No, wait.
Knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
No.
Saying she drank it, knowing what it was?
Okay.
Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Not entirely possible.
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry.
Ha ha!
Please, tell us.
That's sorry. Brings me such a good taste in my mouth.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing.
Alright.
We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
Do we need to establish that?
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
Nope.
What do you think, Makoto?
Oh, the all powders on soccer shoe! We got poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room. And had it been...
I think it was Sakura herself.
Oh!
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
I'm actually this case was actually difficult. I didn't even guess that until Byakuya said it.
No way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying!
You stop lying!
Why? Why would you lie like that?
It's not a lie, soccer different with section C, blah blah, accept it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O! We got a bit of a bull time situation on our hands.
You're a liar!
Bah, boom, 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 bah, boom.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong!
Okay.
I hate you! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Stop talking!
Alright. Yellow powder! Fire! This trial's brought me immense joy. I actually feel invigorated for
Did
this.
you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
My niece sneezed. Eh!
It did?
Ha 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 ha!
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it?
Exactly.
So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her insteps, right?
Yes,
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled.
exactly.
The person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura.
Aha!
And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself.
Exactly.
But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep.
Exactly.
Is there
Well, but
any
this
problem
case-
with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
Wrong.
No, you didn't kill her.
Ha ha ha. The one who got killed, Sakura, the connection between Sakura and the poison, and saw the mystery of the locked room. One way to explain it is, well, it was Sakura herself. Where is she? There she is.
Here's my answer.
Here's my answer.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
That's right.
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
Yeah. Honestly, this case is actually difficult. I didn't guess that until Bianca said that.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe
But as Bianca said, this is normal.
But when you really think about it, everything matches up.
Alright everybody, thank you all for watching this delightful episode of Odd Jobs. If you guys think you're watching, hit the like button, because also stay updated for re-upload and see Bianca for some more. Subscribe bell and hit the bell icon. Yeah, hasta la vista. Have a good day.